Hello everybody, and welcome to a new space for my beautiful voice. A wonderful new podcast called The Weekly Gaming on Xbox. And this is not a solo adventure either. I have a little friend here with me.
Okay, that's one way to start it. We are your hosts. I am Trevor, aka Mini Penguin Gaming on YouTube and Twitch, with my best buddy, Bryce.
Known as B2 Gaming on YouTube and everywhere else. And today, we're starting a new, fun little adventure in the world of sound and voice. A podcast! And we're super excited to start out this new episode 0 wonderful little joyful story with a fun opener.
Bit of an introduction and start.
Yes. So this is the week of 12/16/20. We have some fun news stories for you, tons of interesting updates on the channel and other stuff, and even some fun news stories and other things going on in the space of YouTube, Xbox, and everything gaming. So if you want to
keep
start
it alive,
if you want to start out, Trevor, we are going to have just a little bit of an introduction for both of us, going down all of our local needs, our names and affiliations, some basics about who we are and where we go, and even maybe a little fun story for both of us on how we got into gaming and other stuff like that. So if you want to start out, Trevor, it would be awesome to hear all of that fun little factors for you.
I think I'll start off with my gaming history. I've been gaming for pretty much as long as I can remember. Since I was pretty much like 3, I'd always watch either my cousins or someone play. Obviously, at that time, you know, your little 3-year-old hands, you can't really hold the controller very well, but, you know, you can try.
Little Trevor was sitting on the ground slamming Xbox controller up against everybody.
I actually I started on the PlayStation 1 and 2. Those were actually my first consoles. I didn't own an Xbox until I think I was about 12.
All I'm hearing is blasphemy.
Yeah, but no, I started on the PlayStation 2 back when I was like 3. It's been quite a journey. I've definitely played on both consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, grew up with both, so the controller feeling has not really been an issue for me. I think my first ever game I played was, I would say, I think iToy for the PlayStation 2, because most of that was interactive with the camera. Oh, yeah. So I think that definitely kind of got me started. But if we're talking terms of like with a controller, it'd probably be like a Hot Wheels game. Because at that age, what kid isn't playing Hot Wheels on a PlayStation? So kind of started there, and since
weird
then,
side thing, I've never gotten the controller like pain thing. Like I've played on PS2, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4. And I've never really understood controller uncomfortableness. Like, I've always preferred the Xbox because I like offset joysticks. But lots of people complain about not liking the feel of either PS4 or Xbox, and that's why they're on the other team. But I really do not understand where that comes from because I've never had any trouble, truly.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've always grown up with the different controllers and, like, switching back and forth with PC as well. So it's like, readjusting has never been too much of an issue.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand how people have issues with that. That's just like everyone's different though too. So yeah. Like I guess it also depends on like age. So like older people are more likely probably gonna prefer the Xbox controller because it's a bigger controller. It's always been a bigger controller until recently with the new PlayStation controllers finally getting an update and upgrade in terms of size.
Yeah.
The PlayStation controllers have always been really small, and so it's been better for the smaller crowds of kids gaming in terms of stuff like that.
Oh, 100%.
So that's never been too bad for me because I've always grown up playing on both, playing even with the old school Wii. Gotta love those games.
That's the only controller that I've ever had trouble with is like the Nintendo Switch. For all of you Switchers out there, I'm so sorry. But the joysticks on the like actual console are so mushy, and I hate it. Especially whenever you come from Xbox, where the sticks feel like you're like, they just feel so responsive. They're so like to the point where you feel like you're almost breaking them every time you use them, because they're so like coming along with you for every turn in Call of Duty, for every build in Minecraft, like for everything. Those sticks really feel like they're keeping up with you.
Yeah, and actually, like in terms of like Wii, I'm talking like the first original Wii, where it was like a remote, the actual remote sized Wii controller,
Oh
where
yeah,
it was
yeah,
the like the stick,
yeah.
and those were always interesting. They're very different. They're very fun. I love those things. I don't even know if I still have mine. I think we do, but we have like no fun games for it. So
Yeah. I love that.
it's all like the old school. Like there's some games where it's like, you get the classic like Wii Sports with it, which, obviously it's very fun, but you kind of want to expand. Like I remember my cousin would always kick our butts in Mario Kart, and it would piss me off. I tell you that.
Oh my
But
gosh.
getting older, you learn how to play more, and
Then you one up your
finally
cousin.
caught up. Yeah, I finally. He hates it when I play Call of Duty with him. I
Ah,
always kick his butt now because he used to whoop us. Like it would be 30-0. He would give us pity points,
oh my
and
gosh.
now it's like we 1v1, and I whooped him, and it's so funny to see
I love that.
the change in all that stuff.
So how'd you get into like YouTube and your Twitch and your Mixer at one point? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And just all that kind of stuff.
YouTube. I tried starting a YouTube channel for many years. I think the first video I ever uploaded was like some of the real life stuff. Trying to do stuff like that, like like vlogging kind of stuff before it
Yeah,
was really considered like before I really knew what it was.
yeah.
Back when I was 11, I want to say 10 or 11. So it's been about 7, 8 years, I'd say I've been trying to do this. I've never really taken off. I'm still haven't.
I
I'm
was about
still
to
trying
say
to.
you're definitely
And
climbing the
now,
ladder.
yeah, it's very tough right now too, and it's always been tough for me to just record by myself, um, because it's really boring to kind of record by yourself and just do that. I've always found it more interesting and more fun to have someone to record with because you have someone to talk to. Things definitely are more likely to go wrong then, and it's just a lot more fun for you, for your audience, just anyone in terms of that. And definitely watching a lot of the bigger YouTubers that I watch. I've watched them growing up. I've seen them around for many years. It's always been an inspiration because it's like you watch some of their old videos and they talk about how at that time they had so many subscribers. Well, one of them climbed from like 1 to like 10 or 12 million in a year, and it was ridiculous. And I'm like, how?
Literally
And
dream
this is,
story.
yeah, but this was like 6, 7 years ago, where it's like to grow that fast at that time is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
and he's still climbing. I think he's at 25 plus million, and it's like seeing that for me. I want to get up there, and I want to do the stuff he does, and it's just so cool to see. And I personally I'm jealous, and I've seen some of the people he plays with, still plays with them, and even though they're smaller, in turn compared to him, they're smaller.
Yeah.
They still have a few million or more than that. They some of them try to stretch out the platforms. Some of them stream to Twitch. I definitely have watched some other streamers that stream primarily to Twitch. They don't do anything with YouTube at all.
Hmm.
Um, and I've tried streaming on Twitch. Twitch is a lot tougher platform um, than Mixer was, and so I kind of tried to stay. I tried Twitch before I knew what Mixer was, and it was tough to get noticed. I didn't get noticed at all. Um, And then I moved over to Mixer, which that was at the start of COVID.
Mhm.
I kind of started streaming over there because it's like I got nothing to do. I'm stuck at home because lockdown. And so I started streaming there. I was just kind of having fun with it, having my own like little world with one of my friends, and we just kind of started streaming and just having fun with it. And people started watching and coming by and just kind of hanging out, and fan base started to grow a little bit, and it was kind of nice because people would come in, they would have casual conversations, they would learn more, I would learn more. Um, it was fun. It was something different.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's funny because the I started streaming. I tried to stream all sorts of games. So at the time, like Call of Duty was really popular. I tried to stream Minecraft. I tried to stream, I think, maybe Overwatch. I think I did a little bit of Overwatch, not a whole lot. I tried to push out and stream like whatever I could, and just kind of go from there. And it some games did better than others. Minecraft was definitely the most popular one.
Mhm.
Um, from there, it kind of I was almost primarily Minecraft
Oh yeah.
because nobody really came and watched the other ones, and so Minecraft took off. We started doing that, and that kind of got me going.
I was
We
about
have
to
a
say that's
world
like the fun
which,
place where we met too, because like that was
yeah,
during one of the first expansions of like my network, and so like you were one of the first people that I ever reached out to acquire, and lucky for me it went really well. And obviously, as we can see now, it's been I don't even know how long have we worked together. Has it been almost over a year?
because this started, I think, oh, what was it?
I know I
I
cannot
think
remember.
back in, I want to say March is when we started working together.
Oh yeah, so
So
we're
it'll be
building
a
up on a year.
Yeah, so I think we're up to 9 months right now. Um, yeah, I think it was back in March because this was like, I think like 2 or 3 weeks after COVID they had shut stuff down
Oh yeah.
because of COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever the heck people want to call it. I've lost track. They've come up with so many they've come up with so many stupid names,
The China
and
virus.
yeah, it's ridiculous. They've come up with so many stupid names. It's like it's a virus. Like that's what it is. It's just at this point it's just the flu. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
But we started. I think it was like 3 weeks after I started, so it was like towards the end of March. Actually, it was probably like a week before, like another, like probably 2 weeks after I started streaming. Um, because I had been streaming quite a bit. Like I tried streaming after school and everything,
Yeah.
because I had the time then. And then COVID hit, and it's like, well, I have a lot of time, so I really started pushing it, stretching the hours, pushing it to more days. And after a little while, my fan base started to grow. Then you came along. You had invited us after my stream had ended at like 2 in the morning or whatever it was. I don't even remember.
I am
Like it
such a
was.
universal night out. I have at least acquired two people on the team after you at like 3 a.m. and I have no idea why.
Yeah,
But like night owls always work out for me because both of those people have still stuck around on our network.
yeah. A few of us have. Yeah. And so we hung out, we checked out your world, and then from there we just kind of we found an area that same night, and then the next day, I think on stream I started working on my whole base there, and yeah, I still need that world download because I
Oh
want to go
yeah.
back. I want to go back and check out all the stuff I did while I was there.
Yeah.
I put for it being kind of just like a tester setup thing. I had put a lot of effort into into like the month that I was there for it,
Yeah.
month or 2 months or whatever it was. There's a lot of stuff I put into there, and I want to go back and revisit all of that.
Oh,
All
Christmas
the
idea for the server episode. I could put the world download in the Christmas episode.
Oh yeah, I could probably do work.
That would be fun for everybody because then everybody can go download it on the Christmas.
Yeah, we could
Enjoy
definitely do
season
like
zero.
a yeah, that would be interesting. Um,
An idea.
but yeah, we just kind of took off from there, and the with the new season, after that, with the new season starting, like
We've
instantly
just
got
worked
to
together ever
work. Like
since.
I think I was like a week or two behind everyone. Y'all
Yeah.
were like took off, and
I
I
know
couldn't
Tristan
because I
was
was out
going
of.
crazy.
Yeah, I was going to hop on, but I was out of town on vacation with
Yeah.
family for about a week and a half, and so I wasn't able to. When I finally got back to hop on, it's like, well, everyone's ahead of me.
Nah.
I only have like a claim locate, like a small little igloo that I'm living in,
Yeah.
and that I just gotta. From there, I just kind of started doing stuff and took off, and I'm way past all of you guys now.
I was
I'm
about
like
to say
the
that's the one
richest.
nice thing about like now is that we all don't have to worry about like the world reset. Like in season 0, we didn't know how long we were going to do that. And so, like you said, you put a lot of work into it, but it probably was a little discouraging when we had to restart. And so now it's nice to know that like this season will last until like a big marker happens. And so we probably are going to be here for a while.
Personally, I don't think it was much of a discouragement. I think it's more of like I sometimes I like to go back, and if there's no reason to, I'll just recreate a world just to get that fresh feeling. And I think
Yeah.
with the new server, seeing the spawn location at being in um, the abandoned village, and like finding some of the stuff around the world, kind of doing some exploration, like it was just kind of cool to see a whole new world, see a whole new generation,
Oh yeah, definitely
and
100%.
just restarting in general felt kind of nice because it's like I'm in sync with everyone else. We've all been on for the exact same amount of time, so it's like I'm not as far behind as everyone, and
Yeah.
I can keep building and everything, which I gotta work on because I've been a little slacky on some of the buildings. I've been putting more effort into building shops, which I don't need than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like it's a hard balance because we do have a lot of moving parts. And so, like, obviously, for any of you that haven't watched World Expansion, I encourage you to go to one of our channels or Trevor streams and maybe see some footage from the server. Obviously, I upload weekly too with it. But we have like a shopping area, we have another hub, we have so many moving parts that sometimes it's hard to allocate where we're going to work. Like right now, I haven't touched my base for over a week because I've been building our big Christmas special area, putting up a big surprise that you guys will. I think you guys will see it by now because I think I have an episode Thursday, featuring it. But we have a big surprise coming up Thursday, and so for all of you who have seen the surprise or want to go see it, go check out my channel right now and you'll go see it. But it's just a lot to allocate everything. And so
Yeah, definitely. I don't know why, I've been kind of, I need to upgrade my base. Like I have put a lot of time and effort into it, and I've just kind of stopped. So I really should get into that and figure out what I'm doing.
Oh,
I don't know why I haven't gotten done to do that yet.
But yeah, so that's the origin of where Trevor and me met, and Trevor's origins on YouTube. I'm guessing that most of you know me because obviously I do tons of stuff across our network on streaming, videos, and all kinds of other stuff, and then featured on other people's content. But obviously I run B2 Gaming, my film channel that some of you might know about, and then I run like the Bat Network, which is what we're all under. So I've done that for a while. YouTube actually started out with BAT, I think, because BAT was originally just a dumb acronym for some YouTube stuff that I did for school. And then eventually it just grew, and I just kept the acronym, grew some more channels out of it. So now BAT, I think we call it the BAT Network now, is the thing that rolls over all of my channels just to keep everything safe and copyrighted. And so I've run that for an eternity. That rolls over B2 Gaming, which is my main channel that I upload content to, which is obviously all my gaming content and other stuff. B2 Gaming has recently come to Twitch, and we haven't done a live stream yet, but we'll definitely start doing stuff over there soon. Obviously, I've worked on all the Minecraft series that we've had, season 0 to season 1. I do fun gaming content, and I've been doing all this since I was like 15. It started back when I think I was 13 with the network. And then whenever I was 15, it became more serious. And so I've stayed pretty serious and integrated ever since then. Trevor, I don't think I've ever told you about the Bat Network, have I?
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, I was just thinking about telling people soon, because that's technically what we're all under. And it's owned by me completely. So it's pretty much just me. So there's like no worries of anybody else running us or anything. But like I do officially run the Bat Network, which is like technically a business, but obviously it doesn't make a lot of profit, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's the origin. We actually have a Twitter soon now too, because we want to start like affiliating everything. And then yeah, so like, you know, that was like my big origin story. I started gaming ever since I was like 10 on the Xbox 360, I think. And then I did have a PS2 at one point, which was like given to me from my uncle, which was super awesome. And that was all like, you know, a young little gamer getting into everything. And then ever since then, that like whenever I turned 12, I found out about YouTube. And ever since then, it's been this rat race of putting everything together, having fun gaming and doing YouTube and all kinds of stuff like that. And then finally, you know, me and you worked together to start this podcast. And we've been working together to maintain Minecraft World Expansion, which is our SMP. And I'm sure that we will continue to grow and run even more series and more fun things. And so that's how it is. It's all pretty like simple and clean for me. Like I've just built up from a 10-year-old that liked gaming to a 12-year-old that liked YouTube, and then a 13-year-old that started doing them both. And then finally a 15-year-old that really thought that it would be a good idea to start to try to monetize it. And now we're here on the other side. Not with an overwhelming amount of success, but starting to definitely climb up the ladder and get somewhere.
Yeah.
And so that's really nice. And that's really like the origin of why this podcast was formed and where my gaming love came from and everything like that. And obviously I'm super excited to do this.
Yeah, so, I think in terms of podcasts, it's always been kind of interesting. Like it's always been like I've always wanted to be a part of something like this, to be able to just sit down and talk about like random topics or some like modern stuff that's going on. So like for me, this has always been kind of a dream. Oh yeah. In terms of like this growing on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and expanding onto all the platforms. So.
Oh yeah. So I think that's a nice coverage of our origins and introduction to like where the podcast came from and everything. For this podcast, everybody, we're going to be doing some fun little like transitional things. So for this first part, we wanted to do a proper introduction. Now we're going to have like a little audio transition into our next section, which will be channel updates and other stuff like that. And then we'll keep transitioning, have some more fun content for you guys. But for now, I think we're going to take a quick break. And whenever we get back, we're going to talk about some channel updates, what's going on with the SMP, and tons of other fun stuff like that. So thank you guys for listening. Please keep listening. And I am so excited to see where this podcast goes. And I hope you guys liked learning a little bit about us. So we'll see you in just a few seconds. What is this? Oh, we're back. Welcome back, everybody. So now we're going to go over some just simple channel updates, just a little section that we'll have every week, updating you on channel stuff from any of our members, along with me and Trevor, of course. Just going over new things that are happening across the YouTube space and across our world and everything. The first big one is we actually have 3 new members to our little growing team, and that is Monster Killer, Forsax, and Ghostkeeper 3007 or 3007. I'm not sure which one he goes by specifically.
I would think 3007. That would just make more sense to me.
Probably.
But I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet, so.
I know. I haven't. I was on voice chat with him, obviously, to get him into the server and everything, but I haven't really like super talked to him yet. Um, they're all really wonderful. Monster Killer hasn't actually joined the realm yet, but he is working on it. We already did a little collab on his live stream, and so obviously he is becoming a very nice member of the team. For Stacks, we've already had a 6-hour live stream where we live streamed on the server. He wants to collab more, and so you're probably going to see me and possibly even Trevor featured on more of his content. And finally, Ghost Keeper is just breaking into the kind of Minecraft space, but he is a very decently sized growing channel. So we will hope to see more from him server side and hopefully more collabs between all of us. What do you think of some of the new members, Trevor?
I haven't met them too much. I've met Monster a little bit. Haven't met Ghost. I don't know if I've met Forsax. I don't know if I've met him yet. But I've talked to Monster. We talked to him that one day, and we pulled up his stream. I've watched a bit of his streams. Definitely interesting. They are very cool. I quite enjoyed it. So to have some more members on the server, the realm, the whatever you want to call it, I don't care.
Our little crew.
Yeah, our crew area. To have more people is quite amazing. We're expanding. We're growing. World expansion. World growing. It makes sense.
Everything's great.
So it's yeah. It's quite nice to see some new faces.
Oh yeah. And so I'm hoping that you guys go check them out. I will probably, if I remember, I think I will. If I remember, I'll have them linked in the description of the podcast. You can also obviously go to either of our channels, and I'm sure you can kind of hunt them down from our associated videos. And I hope that you guys all check them out, and I hope that you really enjoy their content. Obviously, they'll have more content featuring us and more of the stuff and work that we do soon enough. But right now, we're just integrating them and just starting our collaborations. So that will be super awesome. Following next, the next channel update that we have is we have a new Christmas event coming up. We have a giant thing being built at Spawn that you will probably see in one of my videos or Trevor's videos pretty soon. We also have some more Christmas lore that we're planning on bringing in and tons of fun events around that. And we are still brainstorming a few fun events that we'll have for Christmas and even New Year's, which will be super excited for the SMP. Aside from that, I think we're going to have some obviously winter Christmas themed videos and stuff from everybody coming out. But overall, it seems like most of the big Christmas stuff is on the server. Are you excited to see some of this Christmas stuff come into the SMP, Trevor?
I definitely am. It'll be quite interesting to see what takes off, what happens. I think I am going to try and build some Christmas-themed games to try and get people into the kind of the general idea and the spirit of Christmas and New Year's. So I have some build plans coming, some ideas. I don't have the details completely finalized yet, but I have some ideas that I'd like to put out there for people to enjoy, and hopefully we can get some people on around Christmas time and whatnot to come on and have a good time with us.
Oh, yeah.
Got some good gifts and prizes coming.
And I was about to say, a lot of our stuff will also probably be more winter-themed since we kind of had a slow rollout in December. So we'll probably be sticking around just a little bit past the proper Christmas time and New Year's time, but don't worry, we're not going to keep Christmas in like April. We will try to get it all wrapped up, I'm sure, in January at the latest, but hopefully that stuff will stick around, and for any of you winter lovers, it will stick around more than a week probably, so all of you guys will have tons of fun rewatching some of our winter content, I'm sure. Oh, and then I wanted to follow up with the expansion of the server just in general with Monster Killer Forsax Ghost joining. We have a new Nether hub that was just built that will probably be appearing in some more videos. I don't think I made an explicit video about it, but I probably will soon. And we just have generally a lot of stuff popping up. We got new homes, we got new people, we have tons of stuff. I'm super excited to see where all the expansion goes and what happens with that. And obviously me and Trevor are trying to be super involved with that. So we just want you guys to be really excited to see what's coming up with everything like that. And finally, the last big thing that I did want to mention is just our expansion of gaming culture. I feel like a nice thing about our network in the SMP is now we can officially say we have a full spectrum of gaming devices on the SMP. Because with Ghost, we actually expanded into the PS4 land, which is obviously pretty untraditional for all of us Xbox and PC players. But along with that, we have some mobile players, Switch players, Xbox players, of course, and PC players. So now we finally can officially say we have the full spectrum of Minecraft machines in our realm, which is super exciting. And I was super happy to see that. I hope that we get to continue that and continue to grow our culture, the backgrounds of our team, and all kinds of stuff like that. But I am really excited to see all that, and I think Trevor's pretty excited to see that expansion as well.
I definitely am. It'd be nice to see what kind of future consoles will come out and what kind of consoles we can kind of expand to as well.
Oh, yeah. And I'm guessing that Minecraft's going to stick around until probably the last PC shuts down. So I'm guessing that we're probably... Forever. Yes. So I'm guessing that we're probably going to be continuing to say that we have a full gaming culture. But for now, we have all the available devices, and in the future, we're hoping to expand to even more devices. Like soon, I'm sure we're going to have some PS5 and Xbox Series X players, I'm sure.
I've debated getting the new X, but I would like to wait for some bugs to get fixed before I do that.
I think my Series X is already on the way, which I'm super excited about. So, yeah, you'll see more fun content like that. But that was all the big channel updates we had for now. With the SMP opening up and all kinds of stuff like that, it's been really hard to get tons of stuff off the floor since we're kind of moving backwards a little bit with getting everybody started on the SMP. So in the future, you're going to see a lot more updates and a lot more meaty stuff in this section, but for now we're just really excited about the story stuff that we're still able to do. Of course, we are super happy and super thankful for all the new members that we have, and hopefully in the future you'll be seeing more of the Minecraft World Expansion SMP expanded across even more channels, and I hope that you guys check out every single channel to see which one fits you best and which one you have the most fun watching. But I think that is all. Do you have any fun stuff for your channel, Trevor? Any interesting stuff that you've been up to lately, or are you still just teeling around with a few things?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out the whole, like, my editing and trying to find time to record has been kind of tough with working, and especially right now with Christmas right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely quite a tough time of year, so I don't have anything up on my channel right now. It's getting tough, but I'm going to try, and I have the weekend off, so I'm going to try and put as much time into recording and potentially streaming. I will see where things go from there, but I want to definitely try and get some more stuff up and out for public enjoyment. I want to try and continue to update people as well, because I've done a lot on the server and I haven't really posted any videos on it, so I have a lot to get going there. So
there's an idea. You could have just like one video dedicated to just like a massive update of all the stuff that you've done since you've been offline.
Yeah, which is pretty much everything.
Yes, that would be a fun little video to throw together.
I think I could definitely go through and talk about some of my shops and why some of them look really stupid in terms of design.
Oh my gosh,
I
think they all look great.
I mean, there's a bit of debate there. I'm gonna get definitely when that comes on to a video. People are gonna look at it and be like, "What is going on in your head?" And it's like, I don't know. I just built what I thought looked cool.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think it'll definitely be kind of cool. I can go through my shops, kind of explain what I sell, and just kind of keep up to date with that as well. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's all we really have for like big channel updates, everybody. I hope that you are super enjoying the podcast, and I hope that you continue to stick around. Our next big section will be news updates, so obviously this will be pretty lengthy with lots of fun gaming stuff and news. And this will be mostly just meta commentary on little news topics and other stuff going on in the gaming space. And then finally, we'll have a big little section on the current state of stay-at-home games. Because obviously with a lot of huge updates coming out for games, some really big games even being released, there's been a lot of struggles with the stay-at-home work from game studios. And so me and Trevor just want to talk a little bit about that, just see what's going on in that space. But we'll be super excited to do that right after our little break coming up. After the break, we'll get to some news updates, and then hopefully we will finally roll on to the final section of current gaming states. So I'll see you guys in just a quick second. Hello, everybody. We are back. I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So now we have a news update. We're going to look over some fun news updates, other stuff going on, and just some fun news about the gaming industry and some stuff that we feel is important for all of you beautiful people to hear about this week. So first, one of the biggest things that has been going on in the Minecraft field, the Minecraft Render Dragon engine. This is an update for Minecraft 1.16.200 that just came out. They actually just released another one today. It's like 201, so they're already starting to do some bug fixes. But the big deal with this update is that they just updated the rendering engine, which is the engine that runs like the lights and how like certain stuff renders with your screen and all kinds of weird stuff like that. For now, I believe, if I'm correct, it is only currently on Windows 10. So every other platform that got the update just got the features and didn't actually get the actual like rendering engine update yet. But eventually they are going to roll it out. And one of the big complaints, I guess, has been that like this engine, the whole point of it is that now you can do like shaders and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But a lot of creators and other people like that have been saying that they're pretty angry about the engine because I guess it makes it really hard to create shader packs and certain texture packs and stuff like that. So they are looking at it right now and seeing how they feel like they should change it and interpret it and do all kinds of stuff like that. Now, a lot of people have been really mad about it. Personally, I think that it's a good move because just being a more of a development person, that was the old engine was very old and it was made for a mobile phone, and so they have stretched that to its limitations, obviously running on Windows 10 and all the new consoles. So I really do think that it was time for a new engine. Do I think they probably should have left this one in the oven to bake just 10 more minutes? Probably. But at the end of the day, stay-at-home stuff has been hard. They wanted to really push new fundamental things, and so I think this was, at the end of the day, in the best interest. Trevor, so one of the big things has been that like lots of people obviously don't get to experience ray tracing because ray tracing is now just becoming semi-popular. So if you have a PC, you have to have a graphics card upwards of $200. If you have a console, you have to have the Xbox Series X or the PS5 to actually use ray tracing. So what do you think about ray tracing? Have you seen ray tracing around? Have you heard anything about it? When you get your Xbox, are you going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to ray trace everything? Or what's your feeling on that?
I haven't heard much about it. I don't exactly know a whole lot about it or like what it is. Mm-hmm. I haven't followed too much into that, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, to be honest. Okay,
well, ray tracing actually is multiple different technologies. It has lots of stuff behind it, but the ray tracing that we're talking about from Minecraft is called RTX, which is real-time ray tracing, which means that
I have heard of RTX.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. And so what RTX is it is a variant of ray tracing where the actual light, instead of being scripted by the developer or anything like that, the actual light comes from the sun, hits the ground or objects, and then in real time is reflected off of things. So it's real time ray tracing. So it means that like the light in real time, as soon as you load up your game, actually bounces off of objects, comes down from the sun. It like all happens in real time instead of being scripted.
Yeah, I have seen some videos. It's very interesting because the concept of it is like the lighting still works in the same way in terms of if like you're trying to mob proof an area with torches, you can still do like the every other like 6-7 blocks or whatever it is because of the 8 block like light distance. And it's interesting but it changes the way you think and use lights.
Yeah.
Because the way lights are designed, and I've actually noticed that in terms of if in Minecraft, if let's say you're using purple stained glass, the sun will actually shine through that and show purple on whatever your build is, and it's a very cool concept to import into a game like this, and it's kind of taking a step in the right direction. And like if they can do it in Minecraft, like what other games are they going to be able to do this well in?
Oh, yeah.
And seeing it in Minecraft, seeing a few videos, it is phenomenal. The graphics are better than any game I've ever seen, and it's beyond anything. So to see it is very interesting, and I'm curious. There's still some things in terms of Minecraft. I think to play RTX, you have to completely buy and re-download a completely separate version of Minecraft. So they don't quite have it updated. They still have it, I think, set in 1.14, if not maybe farther back.
That was kind of the point of the Render Dragon update, was that like now the ray tracing part of all those betas is actually in real Minecraft. So if you have Windows 10, after you downloaded this update, now you can just enable RTX packs, and if your computer hardware supports it, you actually can use real ray tracing like you saw in the betas.
Oh, so I guess I'll have to try and see if I can use those.
Oh yeah, and like I said, it takes a lot of hardware, so I'm guessing that me and you both probably do not own the hardware required to do it with high frame rates. Any hardware can technically do it. I think that's how they implemented it. But obviously, if you have hardware that they think is not optimal, it will warn you before you turn it on and be like, hey, this is really hard to process, so just know that your computer might light on fire. But yeah, so that's the big thing, and like that's the thing, is on one side it looks really cool and it's really awesome, but it does change a lot of the internal mechanics of how texture packs and everything work. So it does make it harder for creators initially because it is a new platform. But also, to be fair, it was hard whenever Minecraft Java first came out to develop for it, but now being, I think, 10 years or more in, it's not.
It's 11 now.
Oh, 11 years in.
Minecraft is at 11. It'll be 12 next year.
There you go. So being 11 years coming on 12 years in, obviously it's much easier. And so I think that's what this is going to be, because obviously add-ons, whenever they first came out for Bedrock, were very dumb and you could barely do anything with them. Now you can add custom textures, you can add custom mobs instead of just retexturing old mobs. Like, they've opened up add-ons a lot. And so I think this is going to be the same kind of thing, as like texture packs are going to be pretty locked down and hard at first, but as time goes on, they're going to increase the tool's flexibility and make it so that, you know, one day maybe even me and you, if we wanted to, could try our hardest and make a really cool ray tracing texture pack.
Definitely, and I think there's still, based off like all that, I think they're still kind of in the beta of some of that stuff. Like, they're more focused on trying to improve and like get the game to the current update right now, and working on figuring out that stuff before they work on like implementing like texture packs and stuff like that into being able to be used with it. So I think they're still in beta stages with stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot to improve on there. So people are definitely be upset about it, but they got to realize they're still very early stages. This has only been out for a few months.
Well, the beta's been going for a while, but obviously the Render Dragon update just came out a week ago, so it's like officially been available to everybody for like a week.
Yeah, but
they've been working on
it
for like 2 or 3 years probably.
And with a lot of stuff like that, there's a lot of coding that has to go into it, and a lot of like trying to get the game to run properly without just constantly crashing. So there's a lot that they have to do behind the scenes, and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah.
There's a lot that they have to take and put in. They put the creators of anything, like any texture packs, anything, spend days, like every week. Like, it's every week. It's like 12, 13 hours like every day of the week, just trying to get this going, get it out, get it so people and anyone can enjoy it really.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm sure even now they've expanded their team since, and they're still working on it. So
Oh yeah.
people just need to kind of see that and see that they're still processing it and still trying to work out all the kinks and bugs and any issues with like world generations or anything like that. So they just got to look for the future and look for the bright side of things.
Oh yeah, because even same with us, like, in the SMP we use BD Craft Vanilla, um, and so we have seen that. Like, we've seen some updates come out, and the texture pack is broken for a while because it takes a lot of work to get those texture packs ready. And so even if those people are given the news and the new textures for the update like a month in advance, sometimes they still aren't done by the time that month is up because it takes a lot of work to change everything, to make sure everything's still working, to make sure the game doesn't instantly crash whenever you use the texture pack. We even had a week where we had to take the texture pack off of the SMP because they were doing an update to fix a crash that would happen occasionally for some platforms. So it isn't easy. The BD Craft, the team that works behind it, has been working on the Java edition for like 5 years. So it's not like they don't know texture packs. Like, they are some of the most professional texture pack makers in the world. But they still struggle. They still have their times.
Yeah, and we've seen issues in the past with a lot of like glitches from stuff like skeletons. Their bows would look like absolute units. Like it looked like you remember they were running around looking like they had like 40,000
like
foot
14 bows stacked on each other.
Yeah, like they were just massive and thick, and so they were still working on it.
I was about to say, I'm not sure if they ever fixed that, because right now on the SMP we did change to a Christmas texture pack, and that Christmas texture pack is much more simple. So I believe that it doesn't have the same complexity problems that BD Craft does. So right now I notice that the bows and everything are pretty normal, and we haven't had any texture errors actually somehow. But I can't remember, but I don't think BD Craft actually fixed that yet. I think they're still working on that because they were just having lots of struggles with the stay-at-home situation.
Yeah, which I'm sure they're trying to brainstorm and figure stuff out, but they could have fixed it, they could have not. I'm not sure. We haven't really looked too much into it, so we still have a lot to kind of check out there.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So ray tracing, I think, will be interesting. Render Dragon, I think. My deduction of the situation is getting all Watson on us. I really do think that the Render Dragon is going to be good for our future. I think that everybody being dramatic or negative or not developing on it anymore just for that is going to be in for a tough wake-up call, because how it sounds is that they're going to spread this engine across every version of Minecraft eventually, period. That doesn't mean that every version of Minecraft will support ray tracing, but it is easier to develop for one light engine instead of two. So at the end of the day, even though they'll probably turn off ray tracing for almost every platform except for like PC and maybe the new consoles, they still need the engine to be everywhere so that they can just develop for that engine and stop worrying about all the other things that they have to develop before. So at the end of the day, all these developers that are going to Linux or going to Android or whatever, you're developing for them for maybe 3 months. You probably have about 3 months till you're going to have to switch over to the Render Dragon. So instead of taking those 3 months to learn about Render Dragon and get better at developing on it, now you just did 3 more months where you're developing for an outdated technology that you're about to have to ditch anyway in 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, that's why I'm encouraging all the developers and people who are making ray tracing texture packs to just do their best with Render Dragon, because at the end of the day, that is what's happening. Like Mojang has already said that. They've said that they put 3 years of work into this texture pack ever since the Super Duper texture pack failed and they never released it. They said that was why they decided to do this, was because they wanted to be able to do something like the Super Duper texture pack in the future. And so that's what they're doing. This has been two years probably-ish, honestly, in development. And they're not going to throw 2 years of development away because 2 developers are mad about it. So at the end of the day, it's going to happen. It's already rolling out. on all platforms. You can actually see the ray tracing options, even though they won't be turned on for all platforms. So it's already there. Like, it's already there. The framework's there. It's going to be out on everything soon. So I would just develop and do your best.
I can say the same better.
But that's the thing. So I'm super excited about that. I think it will be good. And I'm really excited about that. That's kind of a more positive story of Minecraft evolving. Our next story is a little sucky. It's all the stuff going on with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk just released not that long ago. And on top of being broken on the Xbox original and the PS4, the PS4 Slim and Xbox One S have been having a lot of struggles with it. The PS4 Pro and Xbox One X have been handling it decently, I guess, but there's still a lot of texture problems and a lot of frame rate issues. And then luckily on the Xbox Series X and PS4 or PS5, they have said that there's pretty much no issues. Obviously, it's still running worse than it is on PC, and it's still not running a lot better than it is on the Xbox original, but it is running to a point where it doesn't crash every 10 minutes, which is sad, but that's where the bar is. So it sounds like this has just been a rough project. You know, this game was, I think, upwards of 3 years in the making. Its announcement was so long ago, I can't even remember it. And they pushed it back, I think, 3 or 4 times. And so the first thing that I think about is, like, imagine what this game would have been like if it would have released on its release date. If it can't run on consoles and it's breaking now.
It would not have made it very far.
I know. I'm just wondering if you would have even have been able to launch the game, or if it would have just been even worse. Like, instead of only 10 frames a second, only 5.
I don't even think you can get a frame a second.
I know. Like, I just wonder what it would... Because it was quite a few months that they pushed it back. And that's the other thing, is so this game is not a next-gen game. Even though it's running best on the next-gen consoles and it's out on the next-gen consoles, first, on Xbox and PS5, it's not optimized for those consoles. It's running in backwards compatibility mode. And second, whenever it was announced, it was meant to be a whole announcement about how they're going to push the hardware and software of our modern day. So it was never meant for the PS5 or Xbox One Series X. It was truly meant for the Xbox, Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. And on those consoles, it's chugging. It's barely alive. Apparently there's some texture pop-ins. So textures will render at, 144p. And then after 2 minutes of staring at it, it will pop into 4K. And it's just like, this was their release. This was their release zone. Like, they weren't... They weren't meant to release on the PC. They weren't meant to release on the next gen. They were really meant for Xbox and PS4. And so to get such bad performance and have such a bad time, it's just very discouraging and disappointing.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so I am pretty sad. Now, in the positive side, I have heard that I guess Cyberpunk has been very good. Like, the game itself is really awesome, and the storyline is very good. And a lot of the features, some of them are a little bit softer and definitely could have used some more love. But I guess most of them were pretty optimal. And so, in the good news department for Cyberpunk, they are a good game in thought and non-performance. But as soon as you actually boot it up on something that is supposed to play it, it breaks. And so that's really sad. I'm hoping that they do a lot. They released a newsletter today talking about the big updates that they have coming for January and March, which will solidify the game to run at a good frame rate on older consoles. But why not release it in January and March then? So that's the thing.
I think with that, they wanted to really try and push it out and kind of see how it would do once it's released to the public. And obviously, it took more of a left turn than they wanted it to. So I think with the new updates, they're gonna really try and push it to obviously run better and like hopefully fix a lot of the issues that they are having. I'm guessing a lot of the issues they're having right now, they definitely weren't planning on having at all. And of course, you can't really control what happens when stuff gets released. So there's a lot there that they're definitely going to improve on and figure out from there. So I think releasing it kind of now is kind of a good start. As many people are kind of upset with the way it's running, it's definitely kind of nice that they were able to get it out. I mean, they were already delayed. They already delayed it a few months or whatever, however long. Like they delayed it, which obviously kind of took away some of the credibility from the game. But to be able to push it out early, give people kind of a feel, and kind of get a lot of feedback, definitely helps them improve and make the game a lot better. They can get community feedback. They can see what areas need to be improved and what areas could be probably toned back a bit, and so they can really work on the areas that they need to improve on, and then see where things go from there.
And see, I do feel like you have a good point. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you said, but I do just want to say a lot of that stuff sounds like something that you would see in a beta program. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm disappointed about, is like they could have gone into pre-release on Xbox Pre-Release Club. They could have done, some kind of demo. They could have done a lot of stuff if they felt like the game needed more time in the oven or something like that. But instead, it sounds like they pushed it out. In the newsletter, it sounded like they kind of knew that they were going to have these problems on console. And so it sounds like they pushed it out knowing that there was going to be problems. And just accepting that they needed the money right then and there. And they were just going to promise that they would do their best to fix it. But for, $80, am I buying a promise that it will work one day? Or should I be buying an actual game? You know what I mean? And so that's my only big problem, is just that for $80, I kind of want to purchase a game and not just the promise of a working game. And so that's just how I kind of feel about kind of that situation. It's just I wish that my money would be put towards an actual functioning product instead of a product that's mostly running but is definitely going to run in 3 months. That's just kind of how I view it. I do want to support them. They're a great studio. CD Projekt Red has, the Witcher series is unbelievable. And they've made crazy awesome games. But I think that just adds to the fact that it's like, okay, you have a history of unbelievable games. Why not use that experience and just understand that people don't want an unfinished game? You know what I mean? Trevor, are you there? It seems that we have lost Trevor. Okay, sorry guys, we are back. Trevor lost Wi-Fi.
Yeah, my internet. I don't know what happened. I think someone tripped the router
breaker
again, and it's like I don't know how many times it's happened. That's happened like 3 times in the last week. So this is getting annoying at this point.
People are very triggered about your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm triggered about my Wi-Fi.
Okay. So yeah, I truly wish. I was just saying, I truly wish I would pay $80 for an actual functioning game. You know what I mean?
And I don't think they really had planned some of these issues. I'm sure there's a lot of issues that they didn't plan to have that popped up, and so you can't always plan for some of this stuff. So I'm guessing there's definitely got to be something there that they weren't expecting that happened. So there's always issues.
Oh yeah,
and that's just what happens when you release a new game. There's always some sort of bug or issue, and you can't really. You just got to kind of work around that and try and do your best to keep stuff updated.
And at the end of the day, the one thing that I think that we both can strongly agree on is that I hope that CD Projekt Red takes the experience that they got from this launch and the backlash and the trouble that they experienced, and I hope that they really take it to the future, and never have a launch like this again.
I don't think they planned on having this sort of launch, but it just happened.
Yeah. So I hope that they really take away what happened, what went wrong, what in the development cycle went wrong for them. And hopefully in the future we will never see a game like this again from them. And hopefully Cyberpunk 2077 isn't the first and last of its genre.
I definitely look forward to once they get all their bugs and everything fixed. I definitely look forward to getting the game and testing it out, throwing out some videos, and seeing how it feels. I think it'd be definitely very interesting.
And like I said, for all of you who are waiting for like big patches, in that newsletter they did say in January, January and March are going to be their next two giant updates. And in January it's 100% about fixing console performance and stuff. And then in March it's just fixing general performance. So for all of you who are kind of sitting on it or already bought it and don't know when you want to start playing it because of everything that you've heard, I would truly just wait till January. You know, you're already going to be busy with Christmas and everything anyway. So true. January you should have some Fallout time and hopefully be able to play a good chunk of Cyberpunk, and by then hopefully it will be all fixed up.
Yeah, that's the hope. We'll see how well they can get their updates through.
Yeah. So next we have a really fun one. You guys might not have heard of this really small game that nobody talks about, but it's called Among Us. And
you can't pull that. That's one of those. This game came out of nowhere. It's been out for It's been out for quite a while, actually. I'm gonna.
It was out for a lot longer than like what everybody enjoyed it with.
Yeah. The funny thing is this game has been out since 2018.
Oh wow!
Which it's actually it's a lot younger than I would have thought.
Well, I was about to say it's a lot older than I thought, honestly, because it really picked up steam in like this year.
Well, yeah, and it's like, I would have thought the game was older because it's like I knew it had been out for a little while. It actually was just so it released for Android and iOS June 15th of 2018, and then it came out for Windows on November 16th, 2018, which personally I thought the game was kind of a little older, but to see how fast to see how fast it's kind of taken off, and
they have
all
a new
the
map
kind of mods
out.
And stuff. Do they? So they have a fourth map coming.
I almost forgot to talk about that too. I should have put that on the news story. Among Us announced that they're releasing a new map. They have some teasers on Twitter for all of you who want to see the map. And it's supposed to be super awesome because they were actually going to make Among Us 2. I actually watched a documentary on this.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, because I wanted to see kind of the history, and then I saw one of my favorite docu channels made a documentary. And so they were actually going to do Among Us 2 because Among Us's engine is very old, and so it's hard to develop for now because it was actually made in-house, but obviously it was made with a team of 2 people. So it wasn't really made to be developed widely, so it wasn't really made to last this long. And it wasn't even made for multiplayer originally. It actually was kind of jury-rigged to have multiplayer in it. But
I've got some news here about the new map and everything, but I'll let you finish.
Fun.
Yeah, I've got some news here.
But yeah, so they made it with just 2 people. It wasn't supposed to be that advanced. And then they announced Among Us 2, and then literally a week later they came out with another story, and they were like, hey, we decided that we should just ride on the hype train that Among Us is. So they said that they are going to put in the like a literal mountain load of work that it will take to develop the engine and further it to actually have multiplayer integrated and stuff. And so Among Us will be sticking around for the foreseeable future now in the form that it's in. So yeah.
Very nice.
Now it sounds like we got some news, huh?
Yeah. So I found some things here. So I got one from today. Among Us launched on Nintendo Switch as a cross-platform game. So this game, I don't think it was a cross-platform before, but it is definitely now cross-platform.
Yeah, I think they just released that recently.
Yeah. And then apparently, so the new map is supposed to be an airship.
Oh, an airship.
So, yes. And by the looks of it, it looks like they're trying to base it around the Top Hatter airship from the Henry Stickmin games.
Oh, the guy who developed Henry Stickmin as the founder of the studio. I forgot to say that.
That makes sense because it looks like the kind of like style that they're going with for the airship
Yeah.
is something like that. And for those of you who play on the Nintendo Switch, there's a glitch in the system of the Nintendo Switch that allows anybody who plays with a Switch to get the new map early. So there's a bit of a glitch system in the system there. So if you have a Nintendo Switch, you are very lucky right now because you are getting a little bit of a sneak peek on that map.
I might be on the Switch store right now.
I've heard
awesome.
a bit. Yeah, I've heard quite a bit of things with. I knew there was a new map coming. I didn't really know too much about it. I have heard there's been rumors about they're going to add more colors to the item shop. So there's going to be more colors of like characters you can switch up to,
Mhm.
which is very interesting because it's like we have the basic colors now, but I think there's talk of adding colors like gold and silver and
Oh,
bronze and kind of
girl.
like colors like that.
You know that I'll
I
be
don't know if
grabbing that gold.
I have no clue if that's actually gonna be it for sure. It was kind of
That'd be
like a
great.
yeah, it would be. It was kind of more of a like a I don't know if I'm trying to think of
You
what
know,
I just
tomorrow
had
we
the
should
word.
play Among Us.
I'd be down. But I have heard something about that. It's been like they're just rumors. That's I don't know if they'll actually do that. There's been rumors of it. People have put some rumors on the internet, so we'll see if they actually do that.
Oh yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see that happen. But I mean, it'd be definitely something very cool.
Yeah, and like I
Um,
said, it
so.
sounds like they were actually planning on canceling Among Us. I remember this was another interesting thing. They actually wanted to stop developing Among Us like 12 times. But there was one hype train in like 2018 coming on 2019 where Among Us got a lot of support and then it stopped. And then in 2020, obviously now there was a way bigger hype train, and now Among Us has had one of the biggest player bases it has ever had. And they said that their servers have been at almost max capacity ever since that first day that that guy streamed it on Twitch. Um, and so it
Who was
sounds
the
like
first one to stream it on Twitch? Actually, I've not heard of that.
I can't remember him. I can't remember his name, but I remember he was given the gold medal for bringing Among Us back alive. Um,
And I'm glad he did because it's popped up. People have turned it into game modes. They've downloaded mods, which I don't know about the crew, the creators of the game, but I think a lot of the mods that people have been downloading to mess around with, like Mr. Beast has done stuff with like
like
zombies
proximity
mod.
chat.
Yeah, proximity chat is like one of the most popular ones. It's very interesting. It definitely adds a new concept to the game.
Oh yeah,
People have done stuff like prop hunt. It's very interesting to see the kind of things people have implemented in such a short amount of time.
yeah,
In such a small game, in a game that is so small, but
yeah.
it's grown and put. People have been putting a lot of time on it.
And I am
It's
excited to
been
see what they do
popping
in
up
the
all over my
future.
feed. So I think with the hype it has now, if that hype keeps going for another few months, there's a good chance that it could progress and definitely take a step in the right direction.
I was
If
about to
they
say
do the
I'm
right
excited
things,
to
they
see
could.
it come to Switch because that definitely says something about its future. That now it's starting to have enough money to port to consoles.
Yeah, which it'll be interesting to see how that works out exactly. Um,
I went on
because
Xbox.
obviously it's only on. Yeah, I do too. It's only on PC and mobile right now, which unfortunately for those PC players, you still have to pay $15 to be able to play the game.
I wonder
I
how
will
much
stick
it
to my
costs on
mobile device.
Switch.
I'm wondering. I don't. I wonder if
I'm
they're gonna sell
checking
it
it.
for like a. Yeah, you go for it. Personally, I think it'd be like one of those $5 games, but because it's on PC, the way it's on Steam, so Steam like they up the price of everything to make like profit and everything. So,
Oh yeah, it is
um,
$5.
yeah, I would have figured because it's like anything on Steam is going to be overpriced because of the way it is. Like you go on there, some games are still like $60. You go on your console, game is like $10. Steam is gonna try and make any profit they can. So, not to sit on Steam. I love Steam. I've found some amazing games on it, but they will do anything they can to make a good profit. Which any good thing, any good site would.
Now that I'm thinking about it, this is opening up a whole can of worms. There is a lot of... Now I kind of have to buy it because I'm intrigued at what they did. Like, how did they do the wires task? And stuff like that. Because I guess maybe they allowed you to use touchscreen on the Switch, which would make it easier.
I would think so. I mean, it is a tablet, so I would think you'd be able to. There's no way they're not going to be... Well, because there's also the...
the Pokemon games don't support touchscreen, so it seems like it's semi-unpopular.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it depends on the game, too, because some do and some don't.
Yeah.
I almost wonder, because isn't there a version of the Switch where it doesn't even have touchscreen built into it?
No, the Switch Lite, the only difference is that it can't be docked, but it does have a touchscreen. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure. I don't know how much about those.
Interesting
I want to buy
thing,
one, though.
I am on the Switch store because I do have a Switch Lite. And
Right.
on the Switch store, it does say that it supports TV, which means that you can like plug your Switch into the dock and play it on your TV. And so in that situation, you would not be able to use the touchscreen. So there has to be a way to do every task with just the joysticks.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting because I'm sure there's still because I'm sure there's a way. I have not heard anything regarding that area, so I have no clue how they're gonna do it. I wonder if because if you notice, there is a lot of people will have it where the wires will have like the X, circle, triangle. Yep. So I wonder if they're going to implement the controller use on stuff like that. Where like if because if like you say like you're connecting the circle, maybe you have to hold the circle button for like 3 seconds and then it connects it. So I'm curious as if they're going to do some sort of implication like that. Yeah. Or if they're gonna try and implicate something else. I'm curious as to how they're gonna do that. I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, that's
I have no clue. There's a lot of different ways they can go with that.
Yeah, I would definitely play it before the next show, and I'll update you guys on what it is like.
Buy a Switch just to play it.
Well, I have a Switch.
Oh, I don't remember what all people have.
Yeah, I have a Switch Lite, so I don't use it much though, but I might try it. Anyway,
if you don't use it much, send it to me. I'll use it all the time.
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah,
I'll play Mario Kart. I'll play Mario Kart on it. I want to play Mario Kart 8.
Oh my gosh!
So bad.
If we get over 1,000 views on this first podcast someday, I will buy you a Switch and have it shipped to your house.
You don't have to do that.
That's my minimum threshold.
That you don't have to do that.
That'll be our first major That'll be our first major business acquisition.
If we hit 1,000 before episode 5.
Yes, there you go. So the next big news story that we have is the restock on the Xbox Series X and S, and along with restocking of the PS5. So I saw this on Game. What is this website called? It's literally such a common website that I can't remember its name right now, and I don't know why I'm blanking on it. GameSpot.
I do that all the time.
GameSpot was they're a big like game thing.
Yep.
They had an update story. I guess there's huge restocks going out on the Xbox Series X and S, and on the PS5 and PS5 Digital, across Walmart, Amazon, and GameStop, trying to keep the massive request for the console in check. So I'm excited to see how this goes, because I guess the restock was actually yesterday of the recording of this podcast.
I'm betting it's already all of those everywhere you can go. It's already sold out.
Let me check.
Those things were sold because I checked Walmart and they were. Yeah, Walmart sold out in like a day. Like when it first released, they were sold out in a minute and like a matter of an hour. Like they were sold out immediately.
Yeah, everybody's out of stock already. It literally happened yesterday.
And it's funny because everybody is buying these consoles right now, and it's like these are $500 consoles. These are the most expensive that either of these companies have put their consoles at, which is very interesting because everyone's
Well,
like, they're just dropping money like it's nothing. It's like, where are
yeah,
you getting all this money? Especially like this year. Like,
yeah.
where are you getting this money? Because COVID has put a damper on everything. So
Oh
the
yeah.
fact that you have this much money to buy a brand new $500 console, it boggles my mind.
Oh yeah.
Because these are not cheap. These are very not like PlayStations. I've seen them get up to, I think, top price of 400, and I think maybe same with the Xbox. But they maybe I think Xbox has only got them to the top of 300 personally. That's what I've seen. I don't know if you've seen anything different.
Well, it all depends. The Xbox, I was going to say, just as like a side quip, the Xbox One X was $500 on launch. So they have sold a more expensive console, and I think the Xbox original was $500 whenever it came out, and then they lowered the price after they took out the Kinect, and then obviously they had a few more sales.
The
So
Kinects are always interesting.
yeah, and it's funny because they were just talking about cross-platform. I was on watching a live stream of Larry Erb from Xbox, which is I forget what he is, but he's like a big head of their studio. And he said that the one of the saddest things is that like they were able to make the entire Xbox One library cross-platform available to the Xbox Series X, except for around 40 games. And all of those games are Kinect games because obviously they no longer support the Kinect officially.
Yeah, I think because the Kinect is kind of like it's kind of gone out of style. Like Kinect, when I think with
Xbox
when it
360
first
was
came
its
out,
prime.
yeah, when it first came out for that, or even like because I think the first Kinect came out on the PlayStation 2 with
Well, that
the
was PlayStation.
iToy and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was
I
like
know, but
PlayStation VU.
it's like the Kinect really didn't make it to the Xbox One.
No, it died
It
on launch.
was
I swear, because like Xbox sales, I think that's why they were so down. Was
oh
because
yeah,
it
and
was $100 more than the PS4 because the PS4 didn't have a Kinect bundled with it.
yeah, and it's like when we bought our Xbox back in whatever, like I don't know, 8 years ago or whatever it was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But when we bought ours, we got ours. I think it was the year before. No, it was like the year that the Xbox One, first released. The very first Xbox One of the whole series area there. So the Xbox One came out that year, and we got our 360. And at the time, a lot of games were still coming out for both consoles. So this was, I think, Black Ops 3 was one of the last games I recall buying that came for both consoles.
Yeah.
And so it's like the Kinect kind of stuck with the 360, and I've not seen anybody play it on any of the newer gen consoles. So I think the Kinect was definitely, they were very fun. They were very fun. They got you moving. You got to have fun doing it. I mean, it was a workout just to do anything with them, but it kind of just it didn't make it to the newer consoles. I think they kind of stayed away from that because it's a lot of extra work to do a lot of that stuff, and a lot of the games with the newer consoles, like not many people really played the Kinect games,
Yeah.
and there wasn't enough that came out that was really worth spending and paying like to ship out so many Kinects just for the newer consoles that. Like even the 360, there was not enough games to play with the Kinect that it was just not enough. It was kind of a waste of money for Xbox to of make. So I think that's one of the reasons it didn't make it to the newer consoles.
And like I said, they said that only 40 games were not able to become backwards compatible. So that means that the Kinect in all of its life on Xbox One has only had 40 games released for it.
Yeah, I think most of it's like stuff like it's like Just Dance and stuff like that. Those are like the only popular games that have come out with that.
Yeah.
And it's like they didn't like people will go back to play the old consoles for those. So they didn't make it far, which it's sad, but
And Just
not
Dance
everything
now
can.
just uses your phone, so that even Just Dance
Oh
has already
yeah,
moved on.
yeah. And I've not actually seen any on my phone, but yeah, again, I'm not paying attention either. So
Oh well, I mean, like if you whenever you buy the game, they just ask you to download the app, and then you just hold your phone while you dance instead of using the
that's fair.
Kinect.
Almost reminds me of when they came out with the Wii and you had to have the Wii controller in your hand.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's literally the same vibe.
Although it's not the with the Wii, there were so many issues because you could just move the controller and just get fantastics. Like you could just stand in place and move the controller to the place. And I was like, with the Kinect, you actually had to move around and do the dances, which the rate tracing, like the tracing with the Kinect systems, was not the best at the time, but it was definitely above its time. And it would have been
Oh
cool
yeah,
to see
they
where it
had
could have gone, but
and
nothing
like
lasts forever.
yeah, and like even they had the wake word, so you could be like Xbox on and it would turn on.
Ours did that.
Like that was way ahead of its time. Like now Alexa is integrated, so you can be like, "Hey Alexa, turn on my Xbox," um, and that has been a
Do
huge
that.
thing. That has had like a huge level of integration and acceptance. So it just shows they had a great idea there because the Xbox On is a perfect idea. It's a great way to do it. It is just that they implemented it through a hardware that nobody wants.
Yeah. And even
Because
with like the Xbox One, they integrated like they have their own system. Like we have our like Google Homes or our Alexas now, and it's like at the time of the Xbox One, their version of that was like instead of having a Kinect, they had Cortana, which I
I was
think
about to
they've
say, I
completely
think
removed.
Cortana only got one hardware development though, because I think
Yeah, and
she.
I think they've completely removed it from all consoles, and they just don't use it anymore. Like they completely removed it, so it's not around anymore. Which it kind of
Well,
sucks because it's
it is still on Windows 10, believe it or not. They still are developing it. It just isn't to the level of Siri, or Alexa,
yeah.
obviously.
And I mean those are built into a little better than what Cortana was, but
Yeah.
I
Even
mean
today,
with
Cortana still doesn't
consoles
even like keep punches
listen
with
or
Siri.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if they would have put more time into updating that, it could have been a great like assistant
Oh yeah.
on your console, which it would have been perfect to have, but they really didn't take it very far, which kind of sucks. But I feel like you can't do everything because they have to work on updating keeping their systems up to date and everything, making sure stuff doesn't keep bugging out. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
just one of the things that didn't make the cut, and I'm sure that caused a lot of issues on the Xbox One as well. So they just were like, let's just get rid of it.
And
So
you know crazy side thing that I was just thinking of. You know what I hope Xbox somehow integrates in the future. Um, they already have Discord like integrated into Xbox because like now you can set it up so that your Discord will show that you're playing Xbox if you're playing Xbox.
yeah,
But I would love to see Discord integrated into Xbox Live.
that'd be interesting. Yeah,
I would love it. And I know that it's probably hard and Discord's an independent company and so I don't want them to be acquired by Xbox for that to happen or anything. But if they could do it as two companies and just mutually agree that Discord is just kind of a part of Xbox, I would love that.
yeah, and to be able to like have it built and like actually use it on your Xbox as well would
Yeah,
be.
so you could like join Discord
It
voice chats
would,
on
yeah.
Xbox.
It would be because it would be a game changer because not all times like sometimes people use it for on their phones and like well not everyone can really talk from their phones all the time and
Yeah.
sometimes they have their headsets and to be able to like play games with people and just use a Discord call is pretty handy. So
And I think that's the thing is like that's the last thing the Discord needs because Discord is on your phone now. Discord is on your computer now. Discord is pretty much everywhere where you need it to be, except for if you're a console gamer, because then you can't listen to console audio and be on a Discord call because you have to choose which one you're doing. Because either you play games and don't hear the audio because you have another headset on your head that's connected to your computer on a Discord call, or you're listening to game audio but you can't hear anybody on the Discord because you can't put on two headsets at
yeah,
once.
and I've actually run into that issue many times with our Discord calls. That's like I'm either like if I'm playing Minecraft on my Xbox or like any other game, like I'm on and I'm in a Discord call, well, I can't really use it on my PC, on my Xbox very well. So
Yeah. And like that's the thing, and so that's why I feel like they should do it, is because especially if Xbox would get to it before PlayStation or PS4, which I would never. PlayStation is like the last person to integrate modern technology, so I'm sure they won't have to be fast to beat the Switch or Nintendo. But PlayStation, sometimes PlayStation can really get on the curb fast. So I really think Xbox should jump on that while they have that integrated, because PlayStation hasn't integrated Discord into their system yet either. So Xbox is already one step ahead of them. All they need to do is do the last stretch and just release an official app on Xbox. Just release the Discord app on Xbox.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, back to our news stories now that we got off topic. We just have one final big news story that I'm excited about.
One last thing. I want to take a step back to Among Us.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it. I just kind of pulled up the Xbox app on my computer.
Yeah.
So we talked about the new map and the release on the Nintendo Switch. We did not talk about, they did release it for Xbox Game Pass on the PC. So you do have the option to play it on your PC through Xbox Game Pass for free.
Yeah.
We did not mention that. Yeah. That popped up. I pulled up the Xbox app on my computer, and that's the first thing that pops up. So it does. You do have the option to be able to play it on your PC via Game Pass.
In case you haven't hopped on the train already on Steam.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of nice because like if you don't have the money to pay $15 for it, because there's a lot of kids that like to play it, but they don't have that extra $15 for the game on the PC. Well, now they have a chance to get to play it.
I was about to say, think about it this way too. Game Pass Ultimate is $15. So if you really want to buy it, then just buy Game Pass Ultimate. Now you have that plus 100 other games.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of nice too because I don't know. I haven't tested how it runs. I might
think
do
it kind
that
of
tomorrow.
vibes with Minecraft, where obviously the more powerful your PC is, the little bit better it runs. But ultimately,
we'll have to test that
unless
out
you
sometime.
have like a potato PC, you're probably going to be okay.
I think we'll have to test that out, and we'll have to kind of give an update on that in the next episode. And like, you can always test it out on your Switch and bring in your option, your thoughts. I can test it out on the Game Pass on PC. So I just wanted to kind of take a step back and we can do cross-platform now. I forgot that I talked about it, and so they added that, so we can try doing that. So we'll have to test that out and see how it runs via cross-platform. Different via like Switch and PC through Game Pass. So we'll have to test that out and let you guys know in the next podcast episode. So we'll have to catch up with that.
Oh yeah, and that'll be super fun. So yeah, finally the last news story. One that I know you're more excited about, so I'll let you lead the charge a little bit on this one. But we definitely do need to play this game too, because I haven't revisited this game in a while. And
I have started playing it again recently, which is I love it. I've always loved it. It's always been a favorite, even from back in the old ones before there was even online available.
Oh my gosh. And that game is GTA 5. They have a new Cayo
I don't know how to say it.
Pericchio Heights. They have a new cool heist.
I love how you put height on the
I think it's the Heights heist. News.
Is it? I don't remember.
I think so. Let me check.
I'm checking too. No, it's just everywhere I see it, just Cayo Perico or Pericchio heist. So it doesn't add the height. And adding height, I don't think it would be called height either because of the way it's set up.
Heist. Never mind.
You go. Yeah, because it goes into like you go into a submarine. Like there's not a lot of stuff you do, like in helicopters or anything. So, but the new. But
this one's so exciting. The one point that I wanted to like pull that you said earlier was just that. Before I let you go on your whole fantic about this and how excited you are. I just wanted to say, like, as a developer person, like, I am obviously really into development and the technical side of gaming. GTA 5 is one of those staples that I hope sticks around for a while longer. Only because we mentioned earlier when we were talking before the podcast, this game has actually been on the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, and they have cross-platform play right now to the Xbox Series X. But I'm sure very soon it will be optimized for Series X so that you'll have real lighting and even more better graphics. But it really is amazing. Now, we were talking earlier, I don't think that they support the Xbox 360 anymore, which is sad.
So they quit sending updates with some of the newer heists. Obviously they don't have like the Diamond Casino. They don't have, I don't remember what heist they quit updating it up.
Which
after.
I wonder how they do the servers then, because they have to have like a dedicated server just for 360 players then. Or just for like PS3 and 360.
Yeah, so with that, you kind of forgot to mention, so it has been across 3 different generations. It has been out for a long time, so the game has been out since 2013. GTA 5 has been around for 7 years, which is coming on 8, so it's pretty crazy.
Like negotiable,
and it's survived
Minecraft.
through, it has survived through 3 different generations of consoles. Which is crazy. It's gone through the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and now it is on our everyone's favorite new consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X.
No, I think one of those is more popular, but I'm not going to say which one. I have a bias.
In your opinion or in everyone's opinion?
Honestly, I think that's pretty indecisive because I've been surprised to see obviously both of them being sold out. Now, the one thing that I did learn is Xbox actually does have newer technology in it because they had a lower yield, so they actually have sold less Xboxes right now because there is a new technology called RDNA, and what PS4 uses is like RDNA 1.8 technically. It is RDNA 2, but it's the original stripped down version of RDNA 2. The Xbox actually uses RDNA 2 in its full potential, which is a GPU engine. And then they both use the exact same processor, which is a Ryzen 3 processor. But I am intrigued because it's interesting to see. Like, so far, obviously, both of them have been sold out, landlocked. So I'm interested to see in like 3 months if they both will continue to go punch for punch being sold out, or if we'll start to see the love for PlayStation 4 come back out and hold through PS5.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
So I'm excited and happy. I do think the I do think the Xbox Series in general will be much more popular than Xbox One original. And probably up to snuff of what Xbox One S and X started to pull with. But also, obviously, PS4 really pulled ahead in sales last year. I almost wonder if that isn't because PlayStations have better processing power, and so they are able to run games a lot better than Xbox. I wonder if that isn't one of the cases. Well, that's the thing, and now I'm wondering, because it was the Xbox One original and the PS4. The PS4 was slightly more powerful. And so now the shoe is on the other foot. Now Xbox technically is coming out with slightly more advanced hardware, even though it's much more marginal than it was with the PS4 and Xbox One original. It still is more powerful. So I'm wondering if people will start buying the Xbox One series because it's more powerful, or if they'll still stick with PS4 because they already built up a huge library. And so I am excited to see what they do for that punch for punch.
Yeah, and like kind of thinking of that, it's like Xbox and PlayStation have always been at a battle with each other, and it's interesting because Xboxes have always been known to have the better graphic cards. They've always been able to show games at better picture and way more high definition quality, better than anything. And then PlayStations have always been able to run games a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot better. So it's always been interesting. It's always been a fight. So to hear that the consoles are kind of switching up on each other is kind of interesting. I it'll be definitely interesting to see how that goes.
Oh yeah,
From
and
there.
this year, Xbox is probably going to pull out a lot more first-party games as well. Now having, I think, upwards of 14 studios, up from I think originally 4 on the Xbox. They only had about 4 studios under their name, and now they have about 14, buying out tons of huge studios, including Bethesda, and the entire ZeniMax series of games.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So I am excited to see what that does, because maybe the next Fallout will be exclusive to Xbox and PC. And who knows what's going to happen with that. So I am excited to see what first-party titles does this year too, because obviously PlayStation had much more powerful first-party titles last year. And so now Xbox should, just technically speaking, really have something to fight back with. But who knows? Maybe every single studio, including Bethesda, will just flop. You know, there's always that possibility.
I think we need to get back to our topic here of the new heist. We kind of got off topic and went into the specs of the consoles, and we really should be talking about this new heist. This was just released yesterday, December 15th, as of 2020. So it's December 16th today. So obviously, it just came out. It
have not got to
very
play
interesting.
It yet.
I haven't gotten on to check it out yet. I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow. See how that goes. So it's very interesting because there's a lot of different things you have to do before you can even like get into heist preparation or anything. So you need to respond to. So you have to respond to Miguel Madros. I don't know. Son
we are
of Martin.
not native Spanish or French speakers, just
I'm not. Well, I mean, it's also a new name, so it's like I've not heard it said, so like I can't like repeat it. It's like under the Diamond Casino. You have to like get the entrance to music locker. Like, there's a lot of stuff into just getting into this heist. I mean, like, one of the requirements is you have to be a CEO, president, or a VIP. So like, there's a lot to this.
I believe I'm 2 out of 3.
But yeah, there's a lot to it. I haven't seen much of it. I've seen the trailers, which it looks like they're taking the game to a whole new level. Obviously, this is a new heist, which by the sounds of it, if I remember correctly, it's the biggest online update to GTA 5 since its release date. So it'll be very interesting to see where that goes. I am excited to play it and try it out. I can't wait to dive in. It sounds and looks like they might have updated part of the GTA 5 map, actually. So I'm not exactly 100% sure, but that's what it sounds like. I haven't checked it out yet. So I'll have to kind of go up there. GTA over here on one of the things, it says happy to see a map. Yep. GTA 5 players might be extremely happy to see a map upgrade after a long period of time. The makers have now confirmed that they will be adding a new heist to the game that is going to be released on December 15th. So they have updated the map. So the map has finally gotten its first update since, I think, first
major update, I would say.
Yeah, this first actual map change update, because they've actually changed part of the map. They've added stuff to the map, which isn't too much of a change, but they've actually redone a part of the map and added to it. So the map is a lot different now. So that's, and I
was about to say, like, the big thing, the premise is that, like, they have done minor map changes for all of the updates to add the bunker locations and all kinds of stuff like that. But they've never done like a major overhaul of the entirety of the island, which it sounds like this is kind of in the realm of what they're doing for this update.
Yeah, they've always just added stuff to the map, but with this update, the new heist, they've completely changed a part of the map layout. They've changed the map, the way it looks, so there's a part of the map that you guys will definitely have to go and check out.
This will definitely be a thing we review.
Yeah. This will be a thing for next week, where get to check it out and everything. The payout for this heist is just over $1 million, so it's not a very big payout, but I think you'll probably get a little bit more. I think you'll get a lot more than that with going throughout the missions and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's definitely a guarantee, but the end payout is around $1 million. Is just over $1 million.
Also, it's so crazy to think Christmas is coming up next week.
Yeah.
Like, the next time that you guys listen to this podcast, it's going to be Christmas after this episode. The next episode will be released on Christmas.
Is it going to be out on Christmas or after Christmas?
Because it would be that Friday, and I think Christmas is on Friday.
Yeah, Christmas Day would be that Friday because we'll be
that's so crazy.
The 23rd.
You guys will hear this podcast after Santa came into your house and dropped off presents. What the heck?
Well, you'll hear the first episode.
Oh yeah, you'll hear this episode before that.
Yeah, you'll hear this one, and then the next one will be out,
and
we'll have time to kind of check out some of the stuff.
That's crazy.
Check out some of these games.
Wow, they're gonna be like, oh my god, these people are so behind. They're doing the new GTA update while I'm in Cyberpunk falling through the floor.
Yeah. They're doing the GTA 5 update, and I've already completed the heist. Like, wow, these guys are way behind. Well, it just came out yesterday. There is no way.
Some people that actually complete heists in like an entire day, I want that kind of energy.
Oh, I do too, but it's like you have to be playing for a long time. Those people
literally have to be on all day
out for years. Oh yeah, no
and
kidding.
You have to like have all the money ready prior to. Like you have to have done so much prep to be able to do it in a single day.
Oh yeah, and like you have to have like the right crew to do it with, because if you're just doing it with a bunch of random people, chances are you're gonna get a lot of issues.
Oh yeah,
people either leaving or like screwing over or screwing up a lot.
So crazy.
If you get the right heist crew, you're definitely golden. So
we should we should bring together all of our crew. I'll buy them all versions of GTA 5, and we bring the Minecraft SMP to GTA.
I know quite a lot of people that I know have GTA 5. So I think
Minecraft SMP beats GTA. That's our goal.
The Minecraft SMP group is now in GTA 5.
Yeah, we came into GTA and now we own the whole thing. That's so crazy.
People are still trying to do a whole GTA 6 thing, and it's like there's not going to be GTA 6 for a while.
Yeah, like, I'm intrigued what this means for GTA 6. I wonder if this was their last big thing, and now they're just going to keep the map up to date and just try to do fun stuff. Or, since they went through so much trouble of redesigning the map a bit, I wonder if this means that GTA 5 is probably going to exist for this console generation, and maybe GTA 6 will finally be on the next console generation.
There's no actual guaranteed word on GTA 6. People have been trying to push that for the last 6 years.
Well, yeah, that too. Maybe GTA 5 is just the last GTA and it's all over. That's always a possibility.
Which, I mean, they've put so much, and I mean, we also forgot to talk about they did add on to the storyline. So now GTA 5 storyline has gotten a bit of an extension.
And I guess they brought a character from GTA 4, so also for some of you old people, I shouldn't say old people, for some of you originals that liked GTA 4 as well, now you get a little bit of an update to what happened officially in the GTA universe at the end of GTA 4.
Oh, I remember GTA 4 when...
I never played GTA 4.
I remember looking up cheat codes and writing them on a piece of paper just to screw around. I always had the buzzard cheat. I had that one memorized just to play around, just to screw around. It was the most fun thing. Now they've completely changed it.
I did play GTA 3 and GTA San Andreas on my phone because they released mobile versions.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was so crazy. They still are available, and now they can support controller because iOS supports controllers.
Oh yeah. I mean, setting it up is always a pain in the butt, though, too. So.
Oh yeah, I have a dedicated Xbox controller just for my iOS stuff because I don't want to have to switch. But yeah, so hopefully that update will be really awesome. I'm really happy to see GTA get more updates like that. And like you said, I'm feeling like GTA really isn't up the hill from here. I'm thinking that eventually something like GTA 6, GTA Los Angeles, something will be released eventually. But I definitely think that they are going to really look at GTA 5 more. Because even now, whenever GTA 5 is optimized for Xbox Series X and S, it is still a graphically demanding game. So I'm thinking that it's still going to not run at max settings on the Series X and S.
Well, I mean, the newer consoles obviously have like newer generations of all that stuff. So I almost wonder if the graphics won't, once they get it optimized and properly running, if the graphics won't actually be way better.
Oh, I think that they're going to be amazing.
And I hope that there isn't a lot of crashes with that too, because honestly, that'll suck. But like, I would love to see it played on the new Series X. Like, to see the graphics on that would be phenomenal. So
because I think
I'd like to see how that goes.
Yeah, because on the Series X, I know they still haven't implemented like on PC. There's like proper reflections and stuff, like real time reflections. Well, not real-time reflections, but really, really nice reflections. So I know some of those still don't show up even on the Xbox One X. And so I'm guessing that maybe... Well, actually, I almost guarantee that the Series X could run that. So I'm guessing that they're probably just going to finish up and just like kind of max out the game. But then I wonder if they're going to implement any ray tracing or anything like that, because that would be really awesome in GTA.
Oh yeah, it would work so well in GTA, especially because they've definitely updated the graphics and everything over the years.
And they have a very advanced light engine.
Oh, they do. And to see if they would add ray tracing the game would probably skyrocket as well. Like, it would take off so fast.
And surprisingly, I think GTA would have an easier time with ray tracing and stuff than Minecraft. Because Minecraft, you have to remember, you can add and remove objects freely. And so when you have something like real-time ray tracing, it has to update whenever you do that, which is really difficult. So there's continual performance losses that you get. While in a game like GTA, you really don't add objects to the scene because you don't build in GTA. So the only objects that you have to worry about are people and moving vehicles. And then that's pretty much it. So it's much less graphically intensive once you design it properly.
Yeah. I think it'd be a lot easier to do it in a game like GTA versus Minecraft, because there's a lot of stuff you can add to Minecraft versus GTA. So
yeah, and it's just possibilities. Like, you could fill your entire Minecraft world with glass, and now the real-time ray tracing has to like put the single ray of sun through every single layer of glass. Like, that's so hard on a GPU. While in GTA, all you have to do is be like, oh, they're in downtown, start reflecting the sun off of all the glass in the windows of the skyscrapers.
Yeah, because you really don't see into anything like that, so it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, and just that like there's no crazy objects happening. Like, the game knows everything that's supposed to be there or could possibly be there.
Yeah.
While Minecraft, it just has to be reactive. So this should be really awesome. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see it on the next generation. And it sounds like this update has been crash-free, which has been a relaxer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only been out for a day, so you never know.
Yeah, let's not cross our words.
Yeah, let's hope for the best there too. So it's been out for a day. It sounds like it's been going pretty well, but definitely gotta hope and check it out for ourselves and see what happens.
But I think that's all the news that we have for recently. I think that's all the really big news that's like imperative and been really hitting home this week.
I think in terms of, we could probably throw in Call of Duty into that mix, because I think we've kind of already talked about Cyberpunk, Minecraft, GTA 5. Like, we've already talked about that stuff. I think we could probably just throw Call of Duty in there a little bit.
Oh yeah, what new Call of Duty just released? I almost forgot.
So Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has just released about a month ago, I would say. Yeah, I have not seen anything of I've seen trailers of the campaign.
Yeah.
I have not seen the campaign itself. Well, I might buy it mainly for the campaign.
I was about to say, I have seen reviews of the campaign, and I've seen some live streams of it. And I will say it does look excellent, and I have not seen any review that's any worse than like neutral about it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like
It
the
it
campaign is one
is
of the best ones that they've made in a while.
it is very interesting though because it is supposed to take place like directly after Black Ops 1,
Yeah, which is I think why it's so popular.
which is quite a surprise because it's like Black Ops 1, they came up with Black Ops 2, which is like 30 years later after
Yeah.
Black Ops 1,
So now
and
you
to
get a
go
middle
and then they
filler.
just kind of progressed on games from there and going farther into the future.
Yeah.
And to see a game like this kind of go back in time, back into like continuing an old storyline like that is very interesting.
And I think it
Um,
was partially just because people really liked that storyline, and I think a lot of people just wanted to see what happened in between those years. And so
yeah,
I'm
and it's
guessing that's why it was
definitely
so popular.
probably because it picks up like directly after, which is very cool. So I gotta get on and try and check that out. I gotta buy that and get that checked out.
Oh yeah.
Um, it sounds a lot like a lot of people are really kind of hating the multiplayer. The maps seem way too big. The gameplay is quite difficult. It seems like a lot of people are really upset with the way the game is running in terms of um, like when you go to kill someone, your bullets obviously aren't doing the damage that they're supposed to, or you're just getting you're getting outgunned by guns that you're not supposed to. So the game, and I mean the kill cams, they've screwed up the kill cams. Everybody likes it when it's like final kill or something like that. Well, they have this play the game system which they implemented back in, I think Black Ops 3 was the first time they actually
Probably.
implemented that.
Yeah.
Actually, it might have been Advanced Warfare. I think they implemented that.
What?
No, it was the play of the game. I think that was Black
Um.
Ops 3.
Yeah,
No,
because
it was Black Ops
Advanced
3.
Warfare still had the regular
Yeah, it's still
thing.
hard. But they implemented it back in Black Ops 3. But it seems like that's all you can get. It's always play of the game in this, so there's no final kill, which a lot of people are really upset about that. Obviously, I don't think they're going to change it. It's definitely a lot better when it's like you get an actual play of the game. Like someone gets like a quadruple kill. Well, it's showing a play of the game of a guy getting one kill. It's a headshot, and then he runs around for 2 minutes and then gets another kill 2 minutes later. And it's like, well, that was just a waste of a kill cam. Like this guy gets a quadruple kill with a Molotov or something, and it's like this other guy gets a kill with a pistol and it's a headshot. It's like the play of the game system is very broken. Or
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
very odd. Just doesn't
and it
seem
gives
correct to what would be awesome to see.
yeah, and it's like they don't have final kill, and it's like a lot of times the final kill is probably the best thing to watch. It's sometimes the funniest thing to watch. Well, they give you play of the game, and it's like you don't even get to see it again. So it's really screwed up a lot. They've really screwed up with that in terms of kill cams. The gameplay it's running amazingly, but a lot of people are not happy with the way some of the guns are working, and terms like that. So it's tough to see. A lot of people are really hating the multiplayer. A lot of people have started going back to Modern Warfare to play multiplayer, which kind of sucks because it's taking away from that. But they just got to work on fixing some of their stuff.
Oh yeah.
But zombies, I will say, has skyrocketed in views. I've seen a lot. I've seen only the starter map that you get with the game. That's
Oh
all
yeah.
I've seen, and it is by far one of the most popular maps that has ever come out for Call of Duty.
I've
The way
heard
the
nothing but
game,
good things about it.
yeah, no, it is amazing, and people. There have been a few bugs, but I mean, they're funny glitches
I
where
was
like
about to say they're
the
like things that you
characters.
can't really control.
Yeah, they're like things where it's like it's not going to affect the game at all. It's like on other people's screens, it's like the arms glitch back in like World at War where you could look straight up and run and your character just looked really stupid. It's just like like small little glitches like that. It's just it's just like video glitches that don't affect the game at all. If they're not bugging the game out at all, but the gameplay is amazing. They've added so much to do. There's a lot of different missions and different ways you can go about it. So to see them implement it is amazing, and the fact that the zombies now have a health bar makes
Oh
it a lot more
yeah,
interesting because
I love
you can
seeing
definitely
that.
tell if like you have a
How much
crawler, how
damage
close
you're
it is to
doing.
dying.
Yeah,
Yeah, or like how like you can test out how much damage your weapon does,
yeah,
or like how close like if you make a crawler, like
yeah.
obviously
I
they
love
bleed out and
that.
die over time.
Yeah,
You can finally see how much health it has left and how much time you have before it's actually going to die.
yeah,
So the fact that all that's implemented has is phenomenal, and
yeah.
I
Lots of
can't
people
wait to
thought that
see
was
what other
weird at
maps there are.
first. Lots of people I
It
saw
is,
thought that was kind of weird at
yeah.
first, and then like give it a week, everybody was like, "Never mind, I absolutely love this. This was a great idea."
Well, I mean, it's a new concept because we've seen Call of Duty multiplayer games have that in the past. They've had similar things to that, but we've never seen it where zombies have health bars,
Yeah,
which is a completely different turnaround, and it caught people off guard because
yeah. I
they
think it's awesome
nobody knew
though.
about it.
Yeah,
That's the funny thing. When they were teasing and putting out teaser trailers, they didn't put out any teaser trailers about the
yeah. I was about to
zombies.
say I didn't think I saw anything about
They
like
didn't
zombies or
they
new
didn't put out
integration.
they yeah, they didn't put out any teaser trailers about zombies because they wanted to keep it as secretive as possible because
Aw,
they really went out they wanted to make it extra special, and they
yeah,
definitely have. The map, the layout, everything that happens, it's amazing. And it's like the way things work, it's like you have to get to an exfil site, and it's like if you don't kill all the zombies in time, which I have heard that there are some bugs in when it comes to that,
oh yeah,
because you have to kill a certain amount of zombies before you can get to the exfil site,
yeah.
and there seems to be a glitch right now where you can't find the last zombie.
Oh, that's so
And so
odd.
it prevents, yeah. So like when the timer runs out, well, you can't kill the last zombie because it doesn't pop up.
Yeah, Pierre.
And so it really screws you over because well the helicopter gets shot down and you die and lose because you can't win with the last zombie glitching out like that. So
Yeah.
that's a bug that they're definitely gonna have to fix. It doesn't happen all the time, but it is very common. But otherwise it's very interesting to see how well this zombies is done and how well it's taken off.
Oh yeah. And the only thing that I do want to mention, um, I've been the bearer of bad news for this episode, but I just feel like I should mention this. The one thing that has always annoyed me, and I just looked up just to check, and it still is true, is that Call of Duty is one of the only games in the entire universe that still denies to put everything on dedicated servers. Now, with the last two Call of Duties, they've had a mixed server specialty. So some game modes will dedicate to player gaming. And then some games, because they're really intensive or have a lot of people, will be on dedicated servers. So they did that same strategy with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But apparently, the Cold War dedicated servers are set to 20 kilohertz, which is bad. Because
Yeah.
how kilohertz works is dependent on how many hertz there is, that's how many times the client gets updated on what's happening on the server. So most games suggest for just any run-of-the-mill game that you have it at 50 kilohertz because that's enough updates that most hardware would not have any noticeable lag or anything from that. But for first-person shooters, some places like or Battlefield and other places like that have pushed the envelope of upwards of 100 kilohertz because first-person shooters are really intensive, and whenever you get into the professional league, a millisecond could be the difference between your team winning and losing. And so they've been really pushing for the dedicated servers to be much more responsive, and so that was very disappointing. And then obviously some game modes are still player to player, which has existed since Xbox 360 and PS3. And that means that whoever creates the match first, hosts the entire match on their console.
Yeah, that they need to fix that because that causes a lot of lag issues and it
So many
screws over a lot
problems.
of people. Like
Yes.
I saw it a lot on an Xbox 360. Like I'd have great internet and I'm playing on against someone from like China or something who gets
Yeah.
terrible internet, and well, what am I doing? I'm lagging around the map. I
Or
can't
I was
even
about to
pull the
say, it's
trigger
not
half the
even.
time. So it was so bugged out. Like
Yeah.
they need to fix that. Like especially with cross platform now.
Yeah.
Like that is a big thing that needs to be like updated. Like you can't have a 360 and a PlayStation and it's running off of like one or the other,
Yeah.
because that's just going to cause a lot of issues because of the way that the different consoles run.
And I was about to say,
so
it's honestly not even like Wi-Fi ability. It's just that you never know who you're going to be matched made with. And so if you live in, let's say you live in Pennsylvania, and then somebody else lives in, Ecuador or China or somewhere else like that, then the physical time that the internet takes to travel from your location to their location is just so long that both of you could have like gigabit ethernets on your console, and there's still just too much physical distance for the latency to not be really, really bad. And so it's not even about Wi-Fi anymore. It's honestly just that like that's just not a legitimate way to run a game.
Yeah, and they really should update that. I mean, Call of Duty, like
they don't make any money.
Yeah, like Treyarch and all that, like they make way more money in like selling one COD game than they expect. And I feel like they could definitely put some of that money towards better servers and stuff like that. It would run the game so much better. And I feel like if people had better servers and stuff like that, a lot more people would probably be playing the game more often, or like even paying for stuff in-game content, because it would make the game more enjoyable, because you actually get to enjoy the stuff that you're paying for because you actually get to use it, versus like you like nobody wants to pay for it if they're just going to lag around the map and not get to see their stuff.
And that's my main point, is just that I love Call of Duty. I've always preferred Call of Duty over Battlefield. Even Titanfall, I've really fallen in love with Titanfall lately, but I still kind of like Call of Duty just slightly more than Titanfall. But one of the reasons that I always have a reason to hate them is because of this, because the technology has gotten better. I don't notice as much lag on Call of Duty servers and all this other stuff. Like, it has gotten a lot better player-to-player gaming. But at the end of the day, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Web Services, like, there are so many giant server hosts that literally let you run servers with cents on the dime. And so you are capable. I could run a Call of Duty server. I could probably get the entire Call of Duty server farm running myself, being a poor college student that's in debt. So if a giant company like Treyarch is telling me that they don't have enough money for dedicated servers, I just really do not believe that.
Yeah, and I think they just really don't want to put it towards them.
Yeah, I just really think it's laziness.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they've been making Call of Duty games for like 2 decades now.
A very, very long time.
Yeah, it's been about 2 decades, if not like slightly more.
Yeah.
And so it's like they really need to finally hop on the train and be like,
yeah, they have enough money. They've rebuilt their engines for each game series like 2 or 3 times. And so they've had plenty of opportunity to integrate really nice server software into their game engines and stuff. And they've chosen every single time to not do it. And it's not expensive. The creators of Among Us, which is a team of 2, now 3, but originally when it was made, just a team of 2, were able to integrate dedicated servers and integrated technology into their game. And they don't make tons of money on Among Us. Among Us is $15 on Steam. That's the most money.
And it's free on iOS.
Yeah.
It's free on iOS, and a lot of and even Game Pass as well.
They make some money off of Game Pass, but it's still not like unbelievable.
And they're only making like $5 off a Switch, which, that's not a whole lot, but like it's free on iOS. And how many people play on iOS?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people play on iOS, and the most of their money that they're making is either coming from Steam,
or some add-ons.
Game Pass, Switch, or in-game content that people pay for, which is like $5 or something like that to get everything in game.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, it's just the way it is, and they need to fix stuff.
Oh yeah, but like I said, maybe they'll get it in order eventually. Hopefully, they get something.
Yeah. Eventually, it's gonna get to the point where people are just not gonna play it because they can't, because everyone's they can't play because of the way that
Yeah.
the game runs, and then they'll finally fix their ways of playing and put some money towards that stuff. I mean, if they did that, they could probably, like, if they really needed to make some of that money back, they could probably raise a few items in their shop by a few bucks, or add more stuff to the shop. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, Fortnite's been doing it for how long now, and obviously
Yeah, it's just like what,
they are,
3 years, 4 years now.
and they are extremely rich, so that's obviously not a bad business model.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's a free game, and they're making money off a game that's completely free.
Yeah, you are not required to buy a single thing in Fortnite to enjoy it.
No, and like they're making a ton of money because, that's all it takes. You could make a completely free game. Like, there's a lot of games out there that are completely free. I mean, like, I play like mobile games like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. I don't have to buy anything in that. It's completely free, and the creators of those games still make tons of money because of all the in-game content.
Clash of Clans is hosted on dedicated servers.
Yeah,
right. There's another one that's they're totally dedicated servers, and they're a mobile game.
Yeah.
So it's just disappointing. But hopefully the next COD, or maybe halfway through this COD's lifespan, they'll rethink it. I did see they were already talking about the next Call of Duty. They were already starting to talk about teasers and stuff, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's just what they do.
I know. They need to take a break. They need to do a COD like every other year, and then maybe we wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, but that's just the thing. Like, they do it every year, and now it's just like a demand for it.
I feel like it's not, though, because most people still play a lot of the old CODs because they weren't done with them.
Black Ops 2. They just sent an update through Black Ops 2. I think it was a year and a half ago, and they sent an update to update the servers and everything, and flushed out anybody who modded. So anybody who was using mods or hacks of some sort got banned, and they flushed all of those people out. Like, they sent an update through because Black Ops 2 came back for a little bit. Like, you didn't really see it, but it kind of came back for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was kind of nice because it's like I like to go back and play all the zombies maps like that I bought and everything. Like, I love those maps. They were the best. And now 100%. It's just like I can't really do anything now.
Oh yeah. But yeah, hopefully they'll get that in order. And obviously the stay at home isn't making it easier. But I think that they'll figure it out eventually. And if they don't, it's not like they don't have enough money to just take a hit on 2 or 3 games. So, like, they'll figure it out. I'm sad to say that it has to be like that, but it is. They just don't really fully care what they do, but they'll figure it out.
And I think with that, it's like, so one of them, I feel like their most hated game that they came out with was Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah, it's debatable.
And it sucks because it's
I enjoyed Aliens.
I did too, and it was like everybody hated it, and it was like it's pretty much the exact same thing as zombies. I think it was one of the. No,
I did hate the inverted controls though. It had inverted controls by default, and young Bryce never knew how to switch them, and it was so difficult for me.
I don't remember inverted controls personally.
Yeah, where you like to look up, you push your stick down, and to look down, you push your stick up.
I don't
so
remember
simple
controls in that game,
but it's so painful.
I never remembered inverted controls, but that was just me.
Yeah.
But it was like everybody hated the multiplayer. The multiplayer did kind of suck. I will admit that. The maps were too big.
Bad.
Well, the maps were way too big for the game modes. And people would sit and camp in the stupidest corners where you can't ever kill them.
One of the reasons
like obviously that's every Call of Duty, but like that one, it was just beyond terrible for it.
And that's another thing. That's one of the reasons that they limit the amount of players that can play online is because player to player connections only support so many connections. So if they would just host them on dedicated servers, their design team wouldn't have to keep making smaller maps. Their design team could make the huge maps they want to and just have 50 players on those maps instead of 2.
Yeah.
That's another thing, but that's, like I said, they have to change to make that change.
Yeah, and it sucks. I mean, Ghost was one of my favorites in terms of like older games. The multiplayer sucked. I will admit that. I never played a lot of that. I played Aliens. I liked it. It was pretty much just zombies. I don't know why people hated it. It was zombies, but you had more objectives to do. Like you had to survive rounds, which is what
and there was a
zombies
little bit
is.
of a diverse selection of aliens as well. Like there were some of those like
Yeah.
stingers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but it does add. But if you think about it, it's like you had the different kinds because, like in zombies, you have the different kinds of zombies. You have the regular, you have the juggernauts, you have some of the special abilities.
Yeah.
Like in Exo Zombies, you had the ones that knocked out your abilities.
Yeah.
You had the explosive ones. Like there's all the different zombies. It was just a little different with aliens. Like it was just a redesign.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people hated that. It was just zombies, just redesigned a different way to kind of match the theme of the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And it sucked, but I mean, and my favorite part of Ghost was the campaign. The graphics of the campaign and everything was laid out way ahead of its time. It was amazing. The graphics
and
were.
I was never much of a campaign lady. I'm not gonna lie. I've never really gotten into the campaigns. I do enjoy all of them, but I would never buy a COD just for the campaign. But that's just how I am.
Oh, I would buy Ghost
COD
just
as
for the
a
campaign.
first-person shooter. That's like why I buy it.
Yeah, but I love the campaign. It was one of my favorite campaigns, and it sucked because they left you on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like you got dragged away at the end.
Yeah.
Of it, and we never got a second one, so we don't know what happened, and that really upsets me because the COD community kind of took that away, and they wouldn't let us have that second one to see where it led. Yeah. Everyone hated the game so much because of the multiplayer.
I wouldn't say community, the COD development team.
No, it was the community. The community has a big impact on what the game does.
Oh, so because they didn't want another Ghost.
Well, it was because of the multiplayer. Multiplayer is one of the top-rated things.
Yeah.
And
no, but
everybody
I mean, like,
hated
the community affected it because everybody hated Ghosts.
Yeah, if everyone hated it, like it didn't get a lot. Like a lot of people didn't even play it. A lot of people went and played the older version.
Yeah.
So it didn't get a lot of playing time. I feel like a lot of people played it for the campaign.
Oh yeah.
And that was it. And the people that played it for like the aliens, like they were the people that didn't mind. It was something new, something different that they wanted to try. Well, people hated that, so they never continued doing that.
Yeah.
Well, go look at Infinite Warfare. Look at the zombies there.
Infinite Warfare had the
so
same
different
thing though. Like that's why I don't think they ever followed up with Infinite Warfare because everybody hated that there was like so many technology zombies and you could fly around and stuff, and they just hated that.
Infinite Warfare was one of those
loved
games
Infinite
where
Warfare.
I love the zombies. I hate the multiplayer.
I loved
the campaign,
everything. I think the multiplayer.
I don't remember much of the campaign.
I think the campaign was horrible. I do remember that.
I think the campaign was probably one of those ones where it's like it's a one-time series thing, and that's it. Like it was meant to be.
Well,
just
I think it was
game.
a minor continuation, but I remember it not being a big deal. But I feel like the reason I loved Advanced Warfare was only because it's a lot like Titanfall, and like there's a lot of verticality. That's the problem. Is like with how it is, like the war games, you always have like grounds on fighting, like that's never changed. And so it was nice to have another game that like changed it up and tried something different. But obviously people don't like when you do that all the time, and so I think that's why Advanced Warfare really failed.
Well, Advanced Warfare was more popular. The campaign was definitely like Advanced Warfare was just a one and done kind of thing because the series like that one was like you complete the campaign and like that was it. Like there was no like real way that there's gonna be a continuation after that one. But Infinite Warfare, I'm trying to remember Infinite Warfare.
I'm looking into it a little bit.
The Infinite Warfare campaign sucked.
Well, I shouldn't say it sucked. It just definitely there's been.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best.
Been better ones.
But they're zombies. It's like people hated.
Oh, it was released in 2016. It wasn't even that long ago.
No, some of these are pretty new and like yeah. But it's like Infinite Warfare had a zombies where it's like one of the maps is you're just killing like zombie dogs, which is the exact same thing as pretty much. It was pretty much just a remake of Ghost, yet people would play it and love that, yet they hated Ghost, which makes no sense because the same people that hated Ghost for the fact of extinction didn't mind that map, which kind of makes me mad. And then and it's like, oh, they added in so many other things. Well, yeah, go back and look at Infinite Warfare, look at the maps they had. There's the zombies in Spaceland, the first map you play. They added aliens and stuff, like all these random extra things, like clowns and all sorts of stuff that come and like attack you. And it's like, how is it that is any different than the Extinction game mode?
Yeah,
like they're pretty much, Extinction was pretty much like you're just shooting, like it's pretty much just like dog rounds all the time. How is that any different than what they implemented there? And it was just, they screwed it up, and like people screwed up with that, and because of it, like we're not getting a second Ghost, and that's just that's like it's like a movie that's just not going to get its continuation.
Yeah, it does really suck, and it was just hard for the entire series. And like I said, Infinite Warfare fell to the same fate. It's just Call of Duty just has a rough time.
It's always the community. The community has a massive impact on what comes next.
See, I feel like it's the developers have to give it some love too, because like in the case of Infinite Warfare, they just chose to kind of like let the campaign fall to the wayside, make zombies really cool, but then they don't push. Like after hearing one bad thing from the community, they don't push on.
Well, I think with Infinite Warfare, a lot of, because multiplayer, the online multiplayer PvP stuff is always the most popular.
Yeah.
So with that, it was too technologically advanced, and people hated that. Like Black Ops 3 was kind of like, yeah, we're getting there. We enjoyed it because it was fun. Everyone loved Black Ops 3. But Advanced Warfare took a step way too far. And so that's why the next year, the next game to come out after Advanced Warfare, or Infinite Warfare, not Advanced Warfare, after Infinite Warfare was World War II, to take a step back and go from technology advancement to older technology. And that's why World War II and some of the games pulling back from all that advanced technology have started to become more popular again, because the advanced technology kind of ruined the game and the way you played, because they added all these extra random things that just kind of took away from the original Call of Duty that everyone loved. And to take a step back, like with World War II, what was the one they came out with after that? It was
well, they had Modern Warfare Remastered that came out with Infinite.
Yeah, but there's like the new Modern Warfare, which I think is the one that came after. I believe, I could be wrong. I think there's one I'm probably missing. And now there's Black Ops Cold War, where there's no technology, there's no like exo jumps and all that extra stuff, because people like that kind of took away from Call of Duty and the feel of it. So to kind of take a step back in what they're doing, people have really enjoyed it and enjoyed that. So Black Ops 4, that's the one I'm missing, because it went World War II and then Black Ops 4, but Black Ops 4 was kind of a letdown personally.
It was okay. It could have been better.
There was no campaign. It was
I think that was its probably biggest weakness.
Yeah, that was one of the things that kind of really took away from it. So,
well, yeah. But
it's tough.
The new Call of Duty Cold War, a little trashy. Their history isn't great, but it's okay.
It's still, it's only the first month though, so they have a lot of room to improve yet still too. So we'll see.
Maybe they'll flip some stuff that we say.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or maybe they'll just be stuck in their old ways.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what they do.
Mm-hmm. But I'm excited. I'm excited either way, just to see where that goes and see if it flops or makes it. And hopefully that makes them think a little bit more about the next game.
Yep.
Well, I think that does wrap up all the news that we had, though, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
That should be, because otherwise the rest of the stuff would be just talking about stuff that we've already kind of talked about throughout today's episode. So
yeah. So finally we just have a little. Yeah, I think that we covered a lot of stuff. Like I said, thank you all for listening to our first amazing podcast.
Oh, it's a long one.
Yes. We'll obviously have a lot more in the future. We have a lot more cleanup to do. I'll be doing a lot more audio stuff in the future and everything like that. But this was a nice icebreaker. It was a little bit of a longer-winded podcast, and I think this is our kind of goal, is to have a little bit of a longer-winded podcast, but try not to make it unbearable.
I think this one was probably a little unbearable, to be honest.
It was fine.
I did kind of ramble on about some things, but I mean, I have my own opinions, and it's like I'm taking after games that I've loved forever. GTA, I've always loved. Call of Duty, I grew up playing Call of Duty. It's been my favorite game forever.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of whatever one it is, I've always grown up playing it, so it's always cut deep for me. So
yeah.
I have a lot to say about it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I hope that you all enjoyed. If you want to see more podcasts like this, you're always welcome to come to my Twitter, my YouTube, Trevor's YouTube, Twitter, everything. Well, actually, Trevor doesn't have Twitter, but we'll get him.
Yeah, I do.
That. Oh, never mind, he does.
Yeah, I do.
But you're welcome to visit any of those social media or whatever. Reach out to us and talk to us about the podcast. Oh my gosh. And in the future, we'll of course do more with this podcast, more with our Minecraft series, and we'll have tons of updates for you every single week. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the podcast, like us, and give us a good rating on all your podcast apps. And definitely check back this time Friday next week. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Trevor, got anything else to add?
Take care, guys. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.